Hello, everybody. Welcome to a smart grasp, explore, and win. Greetings for the day. Let's get started with today's topic. Chapter 5 Lines and Angles Concepts. So, we have these topics in this chapter. Let's look into it one by one. The first one is point, ray, line, and line segment. So, point is a point, a dot. So, it is named as S. We are supposed to name anything, right? Either it is a point or ray or whatever it is, we have to give the name. Therefore it is a point A. Now ray, so it will have one endpoint and the other side we will have the arrow mark, which means that it goes on indefinitely. It is traveling indefinitely. We will name it as OA. Therefore, OA is a ray. We will represent it like this. Therefore, a ray has a point and an arrow. Now, line. Line has no endpoints. Therefore, we will have arrow mark in the both the direction, meaning it will extend in both the direction indefinitely. Line L. This is how we will represent the line. However, in ray we have one end point and the other side it extends indefinitely. Now line segment. Line segment has two endpoints. Let's name it AB. Therefore, AB is a line segment. It has some finite distance. Therefore, there are two dots in a line segment, two arrow marks in a line. So this is a point, this is the ray, this is a line, and this is the line segment. So this is the very basic topic for the lines and angles. Now let's move on to the next one. Next, intersecting and parallel lines. So intersecting lines are the lines that meet each other. That is, for example, if we have a line like this, there will be another line that meets the previous line at a point. That is, it overlaps the previous line. Therefore, the keywords are overlap or it touches the previous line. These two lines meet at a point which is called point of intersection. The intersecting lines can be of in any direction or of at any size. It can be like this or it can be like this. It can be in the any form. The only condition is that it overlaps the previous line, it touches the previous line. Both the lines meet each other at a point. They both touch at a point. It can be line or it can be line segment, anything else. Now parallel lines. Just the opposite of intersecting lines are the parallel lines. That is, parallel lines never meet. They never touch each other. So this is an example of a parallel line. This is parallel to this. Though it extends indefinitely, it never touch each other. It never meet at any point. These are called parallel lines. This is the symbol to represent that these lines are parallel. So when you think about the real-time example, you could say railway track, because they never touch each other. It goes on indefinitely. This can also be in any direction. The parallel lines, when you extend indefinitely in any direction, they should never meet at all. So the keyword is they never meet. Now let's discuss about angles. We have already read about the different types and kinds of angles. Now we will look into what are the different category of angles. So angles are formed when two rays meet. Two rays meet. When two rays are met, angles are formed. For example, this is a ray and this is one more ray or line segment or whatever it is, and this is also one more ray. So here angles are formed. Same ways, one more angle is formed in the other side. So let's name it. When OA and OB meets, an angle is formed. Similarly, OC and OB meets, an angle is formed. Therefore, when two rays meet each other, an angle is formed. This is about the definition of angles. When you think about the categories of the angle, we have two: complementary and supplementary angles. When you think about complementary angle, if you add two angles together, you will get 90 degree. That is, for example, if you take 70 degree, when you add 20 degree to this, you will get 90 degree. Therefore, these angles are complement to each other. That is, the complementary angle of 70 degree is 20 degree and vice versa. The complementary of 20 degree is 70 degree. Similarly, other examples, 60 degree. Therefore, the complementary angle is 30 degree, because when you add 60 and 30, we will get 90. One more example, let's look into it. 55 degree, the complementary angle of 55 degree is 35 degree, as 55 and 35 adds together to form 90 degree. Now supplementary. Supplementary refers to 180 degree. When you sum up two angles, you will get 180 degree. Then therefore, those angles are supplement to each other. For example, 110 degree. The supplementary angle of 110 degree is 70 degree, because when you add both the angles, you will get 180 degree. One more example, 90 degree. The supplementary angle of 90 degree is 90 degree, because 90 plus 90 gives us 180. A supplementary angle of an angle, it is same as the angle. This concept is also there in the complementary angle, that is 45 degree. The complementary angle of 45 degree is 45 degree. So these are very important 1 marks. An angle which is same as its complement is dash. Then you can say it as 45 degree. An angle which is same to its supplementary angle is 90 degree. So this is a very important 1 mark to be noted. Now let's look into the other examples of supplementary angle. 120 degree. The supplementary angle of 120 degree is 60 degree. Similarly, 50 degree. The supplementary angle of 50 degree is 130 degree. So we will have sums to find the complementary angle and supplementary angle. For example, the question will be like, what is the complementary angle of 40 degree? So we are supposed to minus 40 from 90, because they together add up and form 90 degree. So 90 minus 40 gives us 50. Therefore, the complementary angle of 40 degree is 50 degree. On coming to the supplementary side, let's take the same number, 40 degree. The supplementary angle of 40 degree can be calculated on subtracting 40 from 180. So 180 minus 40 gives us 140. Therefore, supplementary angle of 40 degree is 140 degree. We can check the answer vice versa, because 40 plus 140 also gives us 180. The ideal way to find the complementary or supplementary angle is to subtract the given angle from the respective terms. Now let's look into the adjacent angles. Adjacent meaning next to, nearby. For example, let's consider two lines. We have angle A, angle B, angle C, and angle D formed. Now adjacent angles are, as I said, it is just the nearby or neighbor angles. So on angle A, the next angle to angle A is angle B, also angle D. Therefore, angle B and angle D are the adjacent angles to angle A. We always have two adjacent angles to a single angle, because when you stand in between, the adjacent person standing next to you will be the one who is standing on your left hand side as well as who is standing on your right hand side. The same concept applies here. But when you look into the opposite angles, the opposite angle of angle A is angle C, which is straight opposite to angle A. Similarly, when we look into the adjacent angle of angle B, we have angle C and angle A because they are neighbor angles of the angle B. When you look into the opposite angles of angle B, we have angle D, which is straight opposite. This also applicable to a quadrilateral. So let's consider a quadrilateral where four angles are formed: angle 1, angle 2, angle 3 and angle 4. When you think about the adjacent angle of angle 1, we have angle 2 and angle 4 because those angles are the neighboring angles. But when you look into the opposite angle, the opposite of angle 1 is angle 3. Therefore, opposite of angle 3 is angle 1. Both are opposite to each other. When you look into the adjacent angle of angle 2, we have angle 1 this side and angle 3 the other side. Both the angles are adjacent to angle 2. When you look into the opposite angles to angle 2 is angle 4, which is far away, straight opposite to the angle 2. These are all about the angles. Now the next topic, linear pair and vertically opposite angles. So first let's look into the linear pair topic. Linear pair is sum of all angles in a line is 180 degree. This is very important topic. That is, if we have a straight line and we have a ray in it, two angles are formed here. The sum of these angles is 180 degree. That is, angles in a straight line are supplementary. So sum of all angles in a straight line gives us 180 degree. It doesn't mean that only two angles should be there. It can be three angles as well. That is, angle A plus angle B plus angle C equal to 180 degree. Because these three angles lie on a straight line. So as we discussed, sum of all the angles in a straight line gives us 180 degree. Also, it is not mandatory that only the above part should have rays. Here we can have the above and the below, the left and right hand side also few rays. That is angle 1, 2, 3. These three angles together form 180 degree because these three angles lie on a straight line. Similarly, the other side of the straight line, angle 4, angle 5, angle 6. Angle 4, angle 5 and angle 6 together forms a 180 degree because these three angles also lie on a straight line. It is not mandatory that the ray should be a slanting or straight or whatever it is. The ray can be in any direction. So the direction of the ray doesn't matter. The only thing we have to focus is the angles should be formed in a straight line. Now let's see few examples of few sums related to this topic. So in this sum, AB is a straight line. Similarly, PQ is also a straight line. And we have some unknowns like X, Y, Z, which we are going to find now. And also we have few values for the other angles. If we consider the line AB, the sum of the angles formed on the line AB are supplementary. 20 plus X plus 60 equal to 180. Because on considering the line AB, the angles formed on the straight line AB are 20x and 60. So the sum of these angles gives us 180 degree. 20 plus 60 is 80. So 80 plus x is equal to 180. When 80 is moved beyond the equal to sign, it becomes minus 80. Therefore, x is equal to 180 minus 80, which is 100. Therefore, the value of x is 100 degree. Now let's consider the straight line PQ. The angles formed to the left hand side of the line PQ is 20, y and 40. So when you consider this, PQ will be the straight line. The angles formed on the line PQ is 20, y, 40. Therefore, the sum of 20, y and 40 gives us 180. So 20 plus 40 is 60 plus y equal to 180. When the 60 is transposed, it becomes minus 60. Therefore, y equal to 120. Now in order to calculate angle Z, we have multiple ways to do. We can consider AB as a line or PQ as a line. So let's consider the line PQ, so that the sum of the angles formed on the right hand side of the line PQ gives us 180 degree, because angles formed on the straight line PQ are supplementary. So 100 plus 60 plus Z gives us 180. 100 plus 60 is 160. When it is transposed, it becomes minus 160. Therefore, Z equal to 180 minus 160, which is equal to 20. This is when we calculated the angle of Z by considering the line PQ as a straight line. We will get the same answer even though if we consider the line AB and solve for angle Z. Let's just cross check that. So when we consider AB as a line, then the angles formed below, that is the angles formed on the straight line AB, are supplementary. That is 120 plus 40 plus Z equal to 180. 120 plus 40 is 160. When it is transposed, it becomes minus 160. Therefore, Z equal to 20. Anyways, the angle of Z is 20. So, we can solve for angle Z by either ways. However, the answer will be perfect. So, this is with related to linear pair. This is a very important topic which is used at many places in higher classes as well. Now let's look into few examples for vertically opposite angles. Vertically opposite angles are equal. So if we have two lines, angle A is opposite to angle B, angle C is opposite to angle D. Therefore, angle A equal to angle B and angle C equal to angle D. For instance, if angle A is 40 degree, then angle B is also 40 degree. If angle C is 140 degree, angle D is also 140 degree, because vertically opposite angles are equal. This is also a very important topic which is used in many places. So in few sums we will ask to find the opposite angle. So in that case, we can just find the opposite angle with the help of this theorem. So now let's look into a sum where you will be solving it using both the theorems. So here we have few lines and few unknown angles, also few known angles. So if you consider this as a straight line, there are three angles above that which is formed. Those are supplementary, because angles formed in a straight line are supplementary. However, we will have two unknowns in that case, which is difficult for us to solve. So let's consider the angles formed below the straight line. That is 140 plus Z gives us 180. The reason is linear pair. When 140 is transposed, Z equal to 180 minus 140. Therefore, angle Z equal to 40. Now, if you consider this as a straight line, we have three angles formed on this straight line. So the sum of those three angles are 180 degree. So angle X plus 25 plus 40 gives us 180 degree. The reason is linear pair. So angle X is equal to 180 minus 65, because 25 plus 40 is 65. When it is transposed, it becomes minus 65. Therefore, angle X is equal to 115 degree. So, we have found angle X and angle Z. We are supposed to write the reason behind every statement. So, I'm just writing it as linear pair. Now, angle Y equal to angle Z. This is why, because they are vertically opposite angle. So, if angle Z is 40, angle Y is also 40, because they are vertically opposite angles. Hence, we have calculated all the unknown angles. Now the next concept, transversal, which is highly important. What is a transversal? When there are series of lines and another line cut all the series of lines at definite points, then the particular line is called transversal. So here the lines A, B, C, D are cut by a line which is called transversal at distinct points. These lines A, B, C, D can either be a parallel lines or even they can be a non-parallel lines. Whenever a line cuts two or more than two lines, then that particular line is called transversal. So the transversal should cut at least two lines or more than two lines at distinct points. Now, if the lines A, B, C, D are parallel, there are certain properties, and if the lines A, B, C, D are not parallel here, it has some other different properties. So let's discuss one by one. When a line cuts two or more than two lines, then that particular line is called transversal. So in that case, we will get 8 angles. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 angles are formed when transversal is made. Here I have drawn a transversal which cuts a parallel line. It is still possible for a transversal to cut a non-parallel lines. For example, see, these two lines are not parallel. A transversal is drawn now. Even when a transversal cuts non-parallel lines, we will have 8 angles formed here. 5, 6, 7 and 8. Here these two lines are not parallel lines which is cut by a transversal. But in this example, these two are parallel lines that are cut by a transversal. There are few difference in properties when a transversal cuts non-parallel lines and parallel lines. Let's discuss in detail. A point to be noted, as discussed earlier, it is not mandatory that a transversal should cut only two lines. It can even cut more than two lines. So now let's discuss about the types of angles that are formed when a transversal cuts the parallel line or non-parallel lines. However, the types of angles formed or the number of angles formed are same. So we have 8 angles formed. Let's discuss into the types of angles that are formed. The first type is interior angle. Interior angles are the angles that lies inside the or that lies in between the parallel lines or non-parallel lines. So from these example, the interior angles are angle 3, angle 4, angle 5, angle 6. The next type is exterior angle. Exterior angles are angles which are formed outside the parallel lines or non-parallel lines. So in this example, the exterior angles are angle 1, angle 2, angle 7 and angle 8. Now the third type of angle we have is corresponding angles. Corresponding angles are the angles which is corresponding to each other or which is respective to each other. For example, just imagine if we are taking these 4 angles and placing it here, the angles that places over the other angle are corresponding to each other. So when you take the angle 1, 2, 3, 4 and place it over 5, 6, 7, 8, the angle 1 is respective to angle 5 because when you place it over it, those both angles are at the same position. That's why those angles are called corresponding angles. That is, they are respective to each other. So corresponding angles are angle 1 and angle 5, angle 4 and angle 8 because those angles are at the same respective position. The same case applies for the transversal that cuts the non-parallel lines as well. So angle 2 and angle 6, angle 3 and angle 7. Now the next category is alternate interior angles. That is the interior angles which are alternate to each other. We already know that 3 is an interior angle. So the alternate angle to angle 3 is angle 5. That is, the angle should be alternate. It should be in the diagonal position. Also, it should be interior. So angle 5. Similarly, angle 4 and angle 6, they are alternate interior angles. because they lies straight alternate in a diagonal position, and also they lies interior. Therefore angle 4 and angle 6 are interior angles. Now the next category is alternate exterior angle. Similar to alternate interior angles, alternate exterior angles also lies alternate to each other, that is diagonal to each other, but in exterior position. Therefore, on observing the example, the alternate exterior angle of angle 1 is angle 7 because it lies alternate and also exterior. Similarly, angle 2 and angle 8 as it is exterior and alternate in position. The next type is interior angles on the same side of the transversal, that is the interior angles which lies on the same side. It should be on the same side of the transversal. They are also called co-interior angles. So on observing the example, we could say that angle 3 is an interior angle. So the angle which lies on the same side of the transversal with angle 3 is angle 6, because angle 3 and angle 6 lies on the same side of the transversal. Therefore, they are co-interior angles. Angle 3 and angle 6 are co-interior angles. Similarly, the right hand side of the transversal, angle 4 and angle 5. Angle 4 and angle 5 are also on the same side of the transversal. Also, their position is interior. Therefore, they are co-interior angles, or even they are referred as interior angles on the same side of transversal. Similarly, we have exterior angle on the same side of transversal. That is, the angles should be on the same side, but their position should be in exterior. Therefore, on observing the example, angle 2 and angle 7, same ways, when you observe the right hand side of the transversal, we have angle 1 and angle 8 which lies on the same side, also in exterior side. These angles are called co-exterior angles. So these are the different types or categories of the angles that are formed when a transversal cuts the parallel line or even non-parallel line. So these are the different types. Now let's look into the properties. So when a transversal cuts the parallel lines, the first property to be noted is alternate interior angles are equal. The second property is alternate exterior angles are equal. When alternate interior angles are equal, meaning angle 3 and angle 5 are equal. Similarly, angle 4 and angle 6 are equal. When alternate exterior angles are equal, that is angle 1 and angle 7 are equal. Same ways, angle 2 and angle 8 are equal. The third property of a transversal when it cuts the parallel line is corresponding angles are equal. We already knew what are the corresponding angles. So here angle 1 equal to angle 5, angle 4 equal to angle 8, angle 2 equal to angle 6 and angle 3 equal to angle 7. Now fourth property, the angles on the same side of the transversal are supplementary. That is, co-interior angles are supplementary or co-exterior angles are supplementary. So let's have a short recap. The alternate interior angles are equal, meaning angle 3 equal to angle 5, angle 4 equal to angle 6. When alternate exterior angles are equal, angle 1 equal to angle 7, angle 2 equal to angle 8. When corresponding angles are equal, angle 1 equal to angle 5, angle 4 equal to angle 8, angle 2 equal to angle 6, also angle 3 equal to angle 7. So these are the corresponding angles are equal. Now angles on the same side of the transversal are supplementary. That is, co-exterior angles are supplementary, co-interior angles are supplementary. So angle 3 plus angle 6 equal to 180. Angle 4 plus angle 5 equal to 180. These both are co-interior angles. On looking into co-exterior, angle 2 plus angle 7 equal to 180. Similarly, angle 1 plus angle 8 equal to 180. These both are co-exterior angles. So these are the very important properties. Now let's look into few example sums. So in this example, they have given that line L is parallel to line M and N is the transversal, and they are asking us to find all the angles. So if this angle is 80 degree, angle 2 is also 80 degree, because the reason is alternate exterior angles are equal. We are always supposed to mention the reason for every statement. So if this angle is 80 degree, angle 4 is also 80 degree, because corresponding angles are equal. So now angle 4 is 80 degree. Now if this angle is 80 degree, angle 6 is also 80 degree, because corresponding angles. The corresponding angle of angle 2 is angle 6. Therefore this is also 80 degree. Now co-interior angles are supplementary. Therefore angle 3 plus angle 6 equal to 180 degree. Interior angles on the same side of the transversal, or even we can mention it as co-interior angle. These angles are supplementary. Angle 3 plus angle 6 is 80. So when it is transposed, it becomes minus. Therefore 180 minus 80, which is equal to 100. Therefore angle 3 equal to 100 degree. If angle 3 is 100 degree, the corresponding angle of angle 3 is angle 7. Therefore angle 7 is also 100 degree. Actually we are supposed to write statement by statement along with the reasons as this. Now as we are just discussing, I am just noting it here. If angle 3 is 100 degree, the alternate interior angle of angle 3 is angle 5, which is also 100 degree, because alternate interior angles are equal. Now we are left out with angle 1. If angle 5 is 100 degree, angle 1 is also 100 degree, reason being corresponding angles. Hence we have found all the unknown angles. Now let's look into the other example. So in the other type of example, they have given two lines and a transversal and a measure of two angles, and they are asking us to verify whether the line L is parallel to line M. So we knew the property interior angles on the same side of the transversal are supplementary. So let's try and see whether they are supplementary. So interior angles on the same side of the transversal equal to 100 plus 80, which is 180. Therefore they are supplementary. Hence we already knew that co-interior angles are supplementary one and only if the transversal cuts the parallel line. So here the co-interior angles are supplementary. Therefore with that we can conclude that line L is parallel to line M. The properties are only for the transversal which cuts the parallel lines. Now let's look into the other example. Same case, here they have given the angles as 100 degree and 70 degree and asking whether line L is parallel to line M. So let's check whether the co-interior angles are supplementary. 100 plus 70 degree is equal to 170. That is, it is not equal to 180. They are not supplementary. Hence, line L is not parallel to line M, because if the line L is parallel to line M where the N is the transversal, definitely the co-interior angles will be supplementary as per the property. Here the property is not satisfied. Hence the line L is not parallel to line M. Now in this example they have given two angles as 100 degree each and asking whether line P is parallel to line Q. We already knew by the property corresponding angles are equal. So on observing the diagram, yes, here the corresponding angles are equal. Hence the line P is parallel to line Q. We can conclude that line P is parallel to line Q because It satisfies the property where the corresponding angles are equal. Yes, with this we are completing the concepts of lines and angles.
Thank you all for watching Smart. Grasp, explore, and win. Stay tuned for more videos.